Join us as we sit down with remarkable individuals from various walks of life who face their fair share of obstacles and emerge with positivity. Each episode, you'll hear inspiring stories, actionable tips, and wisdom that can supercharge your own journey when using adversity as motivation.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Lauer Power, where we use adversity as motivation alongside Chad Lauer. My name is Chad Evans. Great to be with you as we're wrapping up here the month of May.
Great to be with you, man.
Yeah,
really excited to have another one.
Yeah, always a pleasure. I hope we're going to have a good episode today. We kind of sat down beforehand and be like, well, now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? Before we get to about what we're going to talk about, I want to say make sure you get on there, subscribe, download the episodes, become a fan of Lauer Power. We greatly appreciate it. And, of course, become the movement we're calling Why Not Shamokin, Chad.
That's right. Listen, we're approaching 100,000 listens on the podcast.
100,000 listens?
Yeah, we're around 90-some thousand. So it's been a great 6 months. And I think people are starting to enjoy, the consistent releases of the episodes and, the different topics we bring each week. So I hope that they continue to listen and subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff.
And also, we would love the support of local businesses, including our friend Matt Tahansky. Matt Tahansky donated 4 bottles of his Cole Region wine. I drank 2 bottles so far. These are the ones that are left over that I haven't had a chance yet. Indian Wild Indian Wildberry. And Chad, which one do you have?
Yeah, I didn't drink 2, but I have the hibiscus.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
And the cool thing about Cole Region Winery is, we can spread the Cole Region throughout the country and the world. You don't have to just be from the Cole Region to purchase it. So pretty neat.
All very good wine. Matt does a great job, and we appreciate Matt's support with Cole Region Winery and any other small businesses that would like some support. We have a pretty good platform to showcase your products or services, and we'd love to talk to you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that's right. We're finally opening this up to sponsors, We didn't really have that in the beginning. We went a different route, but as we continue to put time and effort into our production and creating great content, anybody that's looking to sponsor this podcast, we'd be more than happy to chat with you. It might not be the cheapest ad you're going to buy, but it'll definitely give you some value.
I'll take your word for it. Hey, did you see what's on Route 61?
I did, man. And
how about that? We're doing something.
Listen, Monday morning, what a way to start the week.
This is fun.
I think I got a text from you. You were down there waiting with your coffee at about 6 a.m. for the truck to pull up and put up our first billboard. We got 2 billboards actually on Route 61. And we built a website in 2 weeks, which is no small feat. WhyNotShamokin.com. And we have a little LL Cool J quote there, which is, listen, we've been here the whole time. We're just, we're about to rock and roll again. Right, Chad?
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. WhyNotShamokin.com. That's your first billboard that you're going to take notice to under the Why Not Shamokin movement. And we invite you to join along with us. Nothing but positivity about the city of Shamokin. Yes, of course, it does have some issues. It does have some problems. We are certainly 1,000% aware of that. But what we are looking for is positive, motivated people that are looking to make a change in the city of Shamokin.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The movement isn't to say there's nothing bad happening, right? I mean, the movement is to say let's just focus more on the good and let's create more good. And that's really what we're talking about on this podcast, is using adversity as motivation. I want to shout out one more person on this podcast. Her name is Janet Pearson, I believe, Chad.
Janet Pearson.
I just want to tell a story. For a few years now, every spring, when I drive to get my coffee, I see somebody planting flowers right along the wall going into town. And finally this year, I said to Dave Tamkis, I said, who is this person? And he hunted this person down. And he sent me a text.
Not literally.
No, he sent me a text. He asked some people, and he said, hey, who does this, right? Because there's a lot of people doing things quietly. We're being loud for a reason, right? I could go down that humble leadership versus loud leadership topic all day you want. But I want to shout out Janet Pearson, because Janet and another gentleman, I don't know who it is, this just a few weeks ago, I drove by, and there they were, like they are every single year, planting flowers on their own time to try to make the entrance to the city look much, much better. And it looks beautiful. So Janet, you're one of many people that we know spreading positivity, doing things to make a difference, and we appreciate you.
Those flowers just don't magically happen, friends. Janet and her team go out there and plant beautiful flowers to make the city of Shamokin look just a little bit brighter. So please, if you see them out there planting flowers again, stop and say thank you.
Totally agree.
I know and Janet, if you're out there listening, we'd love to have you on the podcast just to learn a little bit more about, what you do and why you do it. So again, thank you for that. So I know next month when you're all lined in beginning of July or into June, whenever they have the Shamokin fireworks, I know when you line up there with your lawn chairs, don't need to dump a Burger King cup anywhere near there. Okay. Just remember that Janet planted those flowers on her own behalf, and we're greatly appreciative of that. Yeah.
Also, Mariah at Profile Coffee Shop handed me a handed me a pamphlet recently that had flowers and plants on it. They're starting a community garden in the 5th Ward. And I saw in the news item that is live and launched. And it's interesting. I saw a bunch of negative comments about it too. And it's just like,
of course,
I don't know what could be negative about that. So we're going to sit here and say that's a positive thing, right? The community garden in the 5th Ward, another positive. Just this week, right? I can name a bunch of others, but that's kind of what we're doing. So listen, our last leadership topic of the Lauer Power podcast was how to be a visionary. Okay. And the reason why you and I are just on this podcast is we've had various folks who've told us they want more of us. Not to knock our guests, right? Our guests, we love them, but they said, we want more of you. We want more of you and Chad talking to each other, right? So we decided to have an episode with just the two of us, right? And to talk about our vision and our success and kind of like what we're doing in all of these movements, including on our entrepreneurial movement. So that's what we're going to do today, Chad. Sound good?
That sounds great. If you really want to hear us talk, you can find us on the golf course occasionally, and you can really get an inside source on how we really talk and how we really feel.
I don't know if that's made for YouTube, but
probably TikTok.
TikTok, probably.
I would imagine that's a TikTok thing.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
So listen, today we're going to talk about our vision, right? So our vision, entrepreneurial vision, and our vision with giving back to our community, which right now, as you can see, that community that we're focusing on is Shamokin. And I'll take the lead on this, right? So we have a few core values at Lauer Media Company, which, has been in business for over 5 years now. One of them is we want our customers to thrive, we want our employees to thrive, and we want our communities to thrive. If any of those three are out of balance, we aren't winning. Right? If I'm thriving and my neighbor's struggling, we aren't winning, right? If the business owner's thriving and the customer is not, we aren't winning. And if the business owner, the customer are thriving and the employees aren't, we are not winning, right? So my vision, and it's always been my vision as an entrepreneur, is to check those three boxes, right? So here's my vision for our future.
Here we go.
Lauer Media Company has been a traditional digital marketing agency for 5 years, okay? Meaning we go out and we market businesses really, really well, and we wait for phone calls, we wait for emails, we wait for form fills. Like, Chad, you just got a form fill today while we were sitting here for an opportunity, right?
Yeah, pretty cool.
So it's amazing, and that's not going away, okay? That industry is going to continue to grow. We do social media, we do Google, we do YouTube ads, we do SEO, we build websites, etc. But my vision for the future is what I call sales as a service. Okay. So what I found in my near 18-year career is that in all of business, there's a massive amount of focus on sales, or you're not really in business, right? I don't care what it is. You need to produce revenue. The sales rep that used to exist, right? You picture the guy or the gal all dressed up, pounding doors, grinding it out, hitting their quotas, etc. doesn't really exist anymore. It's very, very, very difficult to find somebody to be told no all day long to try to get one meeting. Do you remember anybody ever like coming up and knocking on your door when you were a kid, Chad, trying to sell you something?
Yeah, vacuum guy.
What'd you think of him?
I thought he was fine. Well-dressed, nice slacks.
Right.
We didn't buy the vacuum.
No.
Maybe Mom did. I don't know. It was back in the 80s.
How about an insurance guy? Anybody like an insurance guy ever try to sell you?
No, I never had the insurance guy.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what, though. Graham with Trinity Solar sold us on solar energy.
There you go.
He did.
Yeah, that's a hard job, man. Like,
that's a really hard job.
So what's happening is most companies, right, they have to hire like 50 people to find the 1 Graham that sold you. The one person.
Yeah, he was really good.
That's going to like really stick it out and be okay being told no all day. Then they fire the bad ones, right? The really, really good ones like Graham end up leaving, and then they're stuck with kind of mediocrity.
Right.
Okay. I just read an article from DePaul University that it costs approximately $90,000 a year, or $90,000 per employee to recruit a new sales rep. That means paying the recruiter, the interviewing time of your team, training them. How long are you going to pay them till they're trained? Who's training them? Hiring a middle manager, putting them in a cubicle, buying their computer.
Expense.
To get one person that may or may not sell you a dollar of revenue. They may not bring in $1 of revenue. Then it's expensive to fire people because you have to pay HR. You have to pay attorneys if they're saying you're doing it the wrong way, et cetera. So we launched what we call sales as a service, meaning you don't have to pay any of those expenses I just talked about. You train us on who your ideal prospect is. We do all of that blue-collar, dirty work outreach for you to get you that meeting with the client that you're looking to sell without you having to hire 50 people to find the one rock star, because we already know what the sales process looks like, right? And here's my second part of that vision, right? And people think I'm crazy. I think this is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. My second part of that vision is to use the folks in our community in this blue-collar area that nobody's has been able to figure out what to do with since the coal industry left, and say, you're tough enough to do this. You're tough enough to be told no all day. You're tough enough to sell because you have a vision of who you want to become, and who cares? Somebody tells us no in the coal region, who cares, right? So my vision is, if this does come true, every single time we get a client, we plug in somebody from the area, and the area starts to thrive, right? Now, whether I can pull this off or not, or whether we can pull this off or not, I don't know. But it's having the idea and the vision and going after it with everything you've got. So as I sit here and say, oh, we need a hotel, or we need this, or we need that, I want people to know that we are also trying to come up with solutions, and we may fall flat on our face, right? But that's how all of this starts. What are your thoughts?
Conversations. It starts with conversations. Why do people, let me ask you this, Chad, and I might know your answer. Why do people get so, I don't know, get a bad taste in their mouth when they hear the word sales?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
I think that over time there's been a connotation with sales and negativity, meaning they're trying to do something that's not in your best benefit. And it comes from certain industries, right? You've all heard the term used car sales rep, right?
So they're thinking about the stereotypes.
Yeah, there's stereotypes which just are not true, right? Then there's the insurance sales rep, right? What's that stereotype? Oh, that guy likes to golf all day and drink or whatever, right? There's all these stereotypes. But every single organization and every single company needs sales reps to give everybody else a job, right? It's just that simple. Now, I'm in B2B sales, which is different. When I feel like selling one business to another business, you don't have as many of those negative connotations, right? That's where you'll hear the pharma rep, right? Oh, the pharma reps, they make all that money. Or the medical device reps, they make a bunch of money because they're selling two businesses, right? But I can name industry after industry after, like right now, we have commercial roofers, we have commercial HVAC, we have banks that do business with us. We have nonprofits who use us to raise money. We have all of these industries, right, that literally are just trying to sell to other businesses, and it's a much needed service. So I don't know how to change that besides naming them something else, which I joked about previously. So we'll do business development manager. We'll do all of these different titles that are not sales rep, but we're all selling something.
Yeah. That's the way of the world.
Yep.
And it's never going to go away, for sure. I'm really excited for you. I think you're onto something. I'm proud to say that you gave me the title of Vice President of your operations. So thanks for that, Chad. I appreciate that. I'm kidding. He didn't do that.
No,
yet,
that's all right.
But we're working on it. It's a really good thing. You know, people ask me, okay, well, we saw your billboard. Why not Shamokin.com? Well, now what? What are we going to do?
Right.
I said, that's a great question.
Yeah.
We talked about, the hotels. Talk about, people getting behind that. We talk about sports complex out there in the coal region. My pie in the sky dream is entertainment. It's Stone State Entertainment. My main source of revenue is making promotional videos for small businesses, their products and their services to be displayed on, YouTube or, Google or TikTok or whatever. And I'm ready to move on to the next phase of my company. It's called Stone State Entertainment. It's not Chad's video production. Okay. So what I see is eventually I would like a theater in downtown Shamokin or nearby. Little arts, little culture. I'm talking like a theater where you can put in Larry the Cable Guy. Right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about a theater that can hold a large group of people that can go and see a show. And the reason why I say that is because I believe there's something missing in the coal region, and that's entertainment. We have restaurants. We have great restaurants in Shamokin and surrounding areas. We have the tourism aspect. If we get that hotel, we need people to have something to do. So what I would love to see is a dinner and a show, whatever that show looks like. Now, right now, we do have that Northumberland County Career Center.
Yep.
We do have that. There is an auditorium there. It seats 600 and I think it's 41 seats with a balcony. Beautiful. You've been in there.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Your kids have done performances in there and stuff. Absolutely beautiful. There's a couple of red tape to deal with. We'll say that lightly. But there is an opportunity there to have some shows. And I would really love to see a dinner and a show where, people go downtown, city of Shamokin, have their dinner, shuttle them up to the community center, and then see a show, come back for a nightcap, and head home. Now, that's a lot of wallets. That might spend a couple of bucks at the nearby restaurant establishments, but I think that's a good idea. Look, at one time, Shamokin had, I think, 5 or 7 theaters in downtown. Now we don't have any. Right now, we're having problems knocking buildings down, but we don't have a problem knocking down history. So I think we need to build back the history, build back the arts, entertainment. Again, we always circle back to Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe has done exactly this. It's a good template to model ourselves after. Just a thought. Again, I don't have $10 million to do that.
No,
it would have to be, just like Back to the Future. It's like boots on the ground, man, pounding the pavement and, building that, save the clock tower movement. That's what it is. I think we need to really focus on doing, putting a theater in downtown Shamokin or nearby Shamokin.
It's the same thing that I talked about previously with sports tourism, right? It's tourism. And part of the why not Shamokin.com piece is we're educating people on what there is to do here. So one of the biggest things I miss about the Lehigh Valley and Philadelphia is the dinner and a show. We would do that every weekend. You go on to Broad Street in Philadelphia, you can see any show. I saw Hamilton there. It was I couldn't tell you the difference between Hamilton on Broadway and in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I'm not good enough to be able to tell you that. But man, do you feel good getting dressed up and going there and seeing that? So I agree with you, man.
Where do you go to see a show? You have Wilkes-Barre, you have Williamsport, you have State College, Harrisburg. If you're going to see a show, you're going to see it inside of a fire company around here. Right?
So I got to tell you another.
Look, I could give and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's fine. That's okay. But those are the venues that we're working with right now are Hosies. We can and these shows at the fire companies are getting 1,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, you sell your shows out right now, you know?
Yeah.
Like every one almost.
Well, there's just little murder mysteries.
But they're sold out.
We have a great time doing it. And yeah.
So there's a need, like people are craving that.
They're craving
experience.
for a dinner and a show. Is it going to change the city of Shamokin? I don't know, but we want to make it a destination instead of people repelling from the area.
Yeah.
But it takes a community effort.
I agree. I got to tell you a story.
Go ahead.
I'm nosy. I got invited with a couple of people on my team at Lauer Media, one of our clients, and we all went to a golfing resort last week.
Not all of us. Not all of us went.
Some of us went. Not all of us. You're right. Maybe next year you can make the cut.
Maybe next year.
So I get talking, and I asked the guy, like, this place was on, it was a stunning resort, like massive golf course, massive lake with a beach, picnic tables. There was a casino. There were steakhouses. Now, this is in the middle of nowhere. This is like Cumberland, Maryland, right? So I said to the guy, I'm like, who owns this place? I'm being nosy. What happened here? This doesn't make any sense to me. So he said, oh, well, there was a guy that was in government, of an official, who, I guess he was a federal government official, who literally lobbied and raised a bunch of money to build this resort, and it was state-owned. I mean, it had to be, like, I don't know how much revenue they do a day. And listen, people bash me for saying we should bring a casino to Shamokin, but there was an event center.
We'll save that for another podcast.
There was an event center there, right? There was an event center. There was great restaurants. There was great golf. There was great fishing. And it was packed every single day. Every day it was packed, right? So, the vision and the ideas, somebody just has to make them a reality, and we're here today to try to say, hey, this is our vision. I just told you what I'm doing in my business. You just told us a little bit about how you're going to try to, maybe not pivot, but in addition to making videos, provide more entertainment options in the area.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to pivot, and I'm going to be straight up. I'm transparent. Like, in my line of business, AI is right around the corner. So I do have to pivot. Not immediately, but I do have to look for the future and what are my options. We do have, with Tamkis and we do have the Shamokin Shirt Company, which is just the tip of the iceberg of what we really want to do. I mean, we've talked about, how can we really capitalize off the Shamokin Shirt Company? What can we do? Like, do we need a storefront? Yeah. Do we need to put a storefront? Do we do drop shipping? Do people do subscriptions to Shamokin Shirt Company and get like a different Shamokin shirt once a month kind of thing?
Right.
I don't know. There's all kinds of options. Yeah. But that's very small in terms of what we're trying to do to create a positive look on Shamokin. And that's really what it is. It's just small business owners, also like-minded community individuals with a positive outlook on what this could be. It's true. Shamokin has good bones. It has good bones to it.
Yeah.
And we just got to literally build it back up to where it once was. And it's not an easy feat. I mean, we're talking decades and decades of people trying to do what we're trying to do and didn't make it work for one reason or another.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. Like, how do I say this?
Let it out. What do we got to lose?
I'd be lying if I didn't say there wasn't a financial incentive for me too. Right? Like if I make what I just laid out come true, and I give tons of people opportunities and tons of people jobs. I mean,
I'm going to be a millionaire by the time this is over.
That's what I'm saying. There's a financial incentive for me too, but that's what makes our country so great, right? So
of course.
But my thing is, how do I motivate people to follow? Right. And that's the leadership topic of the day, right? It's how to cultivate leaderships and how to cultivate leaders and motivate people, which we'll get into in a little bit, but whenever you're ready, I know you're on the clock here. So, you gotta just let me know where we're at there. But my point is, like, you know, a vision is just a vision, but I'm addicted to the process. I tell everybody, like, you know, I love the process. I love the road bumps. I love trying to figure those things out. And nobody's figured out, just like nobody's figured out how to repurpose a shopping mall, right? Like we see all these malls that are empty. Somebody's going to figure that out one day.
I have an idea.
What is it? All right, don't tell us. But there are ways to repurpose shopping malls, right? Just like there are ways to repurpose these blue-collar jobs that we lost in the coal region.
Sure.
It's just... somebody's going to figure it out, and it's just it takes time and it takes trial and error, but that process is fun to me.
Well, I'm looking forward to the process.
Let's go.
I think we got the process at least maybe started.
Yeah. Might see a couple more billboards coming up here soon.
Ooh.
So do you want to get on to the leadership topic of the day?
Leadership topic of the day.
All right. How to cultivate better leaders, right? So have you guys heard of, like, I mean, this is something that bothers me. There's a manager and there's a leader. A manager is somebody who probably did a job really, really well and then got promoted, right? So then they are responsible now for multiple people doing that job. And the way they do that is they think they have to micromanage them, right? Make sure that they can do it, or they'll jump in and do it for them, because they don't want their team to fail.
No, it's not only that, but their ass is on the line.
Correct.
A lot of times they live in fear.
Right.
These supervisors and managers.
Yeah, it's a hard thing, right? But a leader does the opposite. A leader inspires them to want to follow, fail on their own, right? They find their intrinsic motivation, okay? So, like, leaders inspire intrinsic motivation, right? They literally convey a sense of purpose and ownership and all of these things. They find a way to literally tap into human nature, which, you know, sometimes that means just asking questions, right? Instead of saying, do this today, you say, hey, how can I help you today? Those little words matter, right? I'll give you an example. When we send somebody paperwork to sign up with our media, we have a rule. You cannot call it a contract. It's an agreement. So if I send you, hey, listen, will you sign this contract? That gives me a feeling of commitment for a long term that I can't get out of. Mm-hmm. If I say, hey, would you mind just signing this agreement? That gives me the vibe of teamwork, partnership, doing it together, right? Same thing. You need to talk to people and motivate them for what matters to them, not for what matters to me, right? So again, the difference is we're telling you our vision for a better future. Well, the only way to get people to follow us is if there's something in it for them too. It can't be about what's in it for me, right? What's in it for them too is get in on the ground running on something that could be massive, right? What I just laid out could be a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. If that doesn't make you excited, then I can't help you, right? If you want to take your date out to dinner and a show, then they're going to get behind Stone State Entertainment because they want a town that they're proud of, you know? But if you don't feel that, I can't help you, right? So I'm looking for people who literally have something that motivates them to the point where they're willing to act, right? So I think we can all get better at that. Ask each other questions, learn about what motivates you. We have an intern here, Liz. Is she an intern?
Liz.
Is Liz an intern?
Yeah, sure. She's a shadow. What's up, Liz?
So Liz is here with us, and that's exactly what I asked her. So what motivates you?
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. What was? That's the only way I get to know people, right? Ask them questions. I don't know, right? She said, I'm not in this line of work for the money. So I know she's not motivated by money. I could throw $200,000 at her and say, hey, you need to go work in this cubby for the next 5 years.
That might be a different story.
She might be, no, my point is, I could say for the next 10 years, you're going to make this, but you got to go work in this cubby. And she's probably going to tell me no. Right. So like you need to figure that out. And I think our generation is just fed up. And everybody we talk to is like, listen, this is where we're going. This is why. And that motivation is coming back. The motivation of, multi-generations before us who worked their tail off to be proud of where we live. I mean, we lost it. It makes no sense to me. And now
it's not totally lost.
No,
I would disagree. I mean, it's not totally lost. The positive people are just quiet.
Yeah, but how did that happen?
That they remain quiet?
No, like how did there become such a negative connotation with this?
Well, if you want, negative people are always the loudest.
Yeah.
Negative people are always the loudest. And what platform do they have? Social media.
Right.
No one gets to see you. We just stand behind this keyboard here, and I'm going to give them the business and let them know what my real thoughts are. Come on.
You know what's funny? I remember vividly, I was in college, and I was reading an article in the Daily Item. And I looked at the comments in the Daily Item. And now I own a digital marketing agency. And I asked myself, who would ever take the time to write a comment that negative about anybody?
About anybody or anything.
Like you literally took the time to bash somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
Time out of your day to do that.
Just reading a headline. Reading 5 words. And I'm like, well, I got something to say about this.
I don't get that,
Yeah.
How cool would it be if all of our comments were just positive and building people up?
I'm waiting for negative comments.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. Of course it's going to happen.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. But that's how you know you're winning.
That's true.
When you got to get the negative comments in there.
That's all I have for the day, brother.
All right. Sounds good. So just an episode on you and me and what now? That's what we're doing. What now? So we got some things in motion and it's not just us. Tamkis is around. He couldn't be here today. I think he's working. We were golfing yesterday. So
figures.
It's life of an entrepreneur, just making our own schedule. That's how it works around here.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, that's how it works. But we do have, again, like-minded individuals that are jumping on this boat with us. We're really appreciative about that. We do have things in motion to help the city along. We don't have all the answers. We just have a little bit of a platform that's creating positivity within the city of Shamokin, and we'd love for you to join us. That's all that we're asking. If there are things that you would like to see happen in the city of Shamokin, let us know. I'm not saying we have a magic wand. It's going to make it happen, but we wouldn't mind creating a list.
We have a lot of connections, though. I will say that we've had so many people reach out to us that we can definitely connect people. We even have people who are like, don't do that. And I'm like, okay. All right.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. But we do have some connections, just like the more handsome Chad said. So listen, we have another podcast coming up. This is episode 15.
15, today. Man. Somebody told me that you should only make 21 episodes.
I'm fine with that. If that's what it takes. Because
90% of people don't watch past 21. So we're going to test that theory.
Okay. All right. Let's get on it. So till next time, Mr. Lauer.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Can't wait to get started on the next one.
Are you a business owner, a leader, or an aspiring achiever looking to turn life's challenges into powerful fuel for your success? You've come to the right place. Get ready to unlock the secrets to turning life's hardships into your most powerful ally. Your hosts, along with our incredible guests, will help you tap into your own Lauer power.